Boruto TBV VORTEX Chapter 9 is one of the most anticipated chapters since Chapter 3. Not only because we just learned how much potential Himawari has, but also because Jura and Hidari have invaded Konoha and they're looking for Naruto. And so far, they have looked just plain out unbeatable. This isn't like any other villain invasion we've seen before, like Orochimaru or Pain. The Shinju are mowing through anyone in sight, and I really don't see a scenario where they are quote-unquote forced to retreat. Or I should say, as of yet. It's kind of weird because to think these guys are supposed to be like the new main antagonists in the series, and they're making big moves so early in the series like this. It's almost obvious they won't be unalived or anything major. I feel like this is just a tease for what's to really come. Although I don't expect there to be any story-altering events to happen in this upcoming chapter, I do think we see a situation that will call for guys to go all out to protect Konoha against Jura and Hidari. Near the end of chapter 8, we see Sarada rushing to the scene where of course Jura and Hidari were located by the sensory unit. She heard that one of them was confirmed to be Sasuke Uchiha, and from what she was told by Boruto, she already knows that it's most likely not her father that's come back. So she's just running to the site to see the truth for herself. And this is where there is a huge problem. As we found out from chapter 5, Hidari is currently targeting Sarada and will most likely just attack her as soon as she arrives. If the Shinju really act off instincts like we think, there should be no reason Hidari shouldn't just blitz Sarada on sight. The thing that worries me is Hidari just outscaling Sarada in every way possible. If Hidari's showings against Boruto wasn't impressive enough, we can see he just casually dodged Kawaki's rods with ease. Something that moves so fast, even Sasuke's Sharingan, which is, by the way, still much more trained and mature than Sarada's, couldn't even follow. And not to mention Jura is there as well. So even with Sarada's help, it's pretty obvious that Team 10, Himawari and them wouldn't stand any chance against those two. This is where I see many theories about Boruto possibly making an appearance. Maybe even Daemon. Obviously you would want Daemon to be in a battle like this because as far as we know, he's the strongest, at worst the second strongest available to fight behind Boruto. But I just can't see Daemon getting into trouble that doesn't really concern him, or something I can see him really caring for. To say, oh maybe he might want to help Himawari out because she has potential or something like that, or even because he just likes her a little bit, is kind of a stretch as well. Especially if we end up seeing the other Shinju like Matsuri or Bug. I'm gonna guess Hidari and Jura came by themselves for now, but let's not forget the other Shinju could easily get to Konoha with the claw marks, from either the same way Jura and Hidari did, or by using the claw marks off of each other, similar to how the claw grimes did in chapter 2. With that being said, I really think Daemon opts to stay near Eida's side since she knows she's being targeted too. And we know Daemon really doesn't care for anyone more than his sister. But stay tuned because I will further elaborate on Daemon's situation later on in the video. Because even though I don't think he really cares about what happens to anyone not named Eida, there is definitely still a way he gets dragged into the fight. So as far as Sarada versus Hidari goes, I do think she'll be on her own with that one, unless Boruto shows up. Now of course, Boruto showing up makes way more sense narratively. Great Danger faces some of the most important people he has left in Himawari and Sarada, and it'll give us the much awaited rematch between Boruto versus the Shinju. I stated back in chapter 4 that Boruto wouldn't be able to handle the Shinju all by himself, because they would just apply too much pressure. But if there was some way, somehow Boruto can get a good 1v1 scenario with any one of them, we'll possibly see a much more dominant performance. No question about that. Even if the rest of the Shinju is weaker than Jura, if you put all of them together, it starts to become much more harder to deal with. From the way we've seen the Shinju fight so far, it seems like they like to immobilize their opponents first before they deliver the final blow. But thanks to Boruto's flying Raijin, he'll be able to easily get out these situations. This is why I was so intrigued when I seen Boruto learn such a technique. It's literally the perfect technique for what he needs to do in the series. It allows Boruto to be anywhere he wants, whenever he wants, in a blink of an eye. And it counters the Shinju's abilities quite well. This is why so far, only Boruto has been shown to be able to go toe to toe with these things. And I think it'll still be the same in the near future. And yes, I believe that includes Daemon as well. And look, if you want to learn more about what I think about a potential Daemon versus the Shinju scenario, then hit the link in the top right, because I do think there is way more to that fight than meets the eye. So back on topic, because of Boruto's flying Raijin, I do think he'll be able to fight against the Shinju more effectively than anyone else. But I only think we'll see that if Sarada can at least not be a hindrance in this fight. So regarding chapter 9, I can see Sarada running into Jura and Hidari and possibly getting into a battle with the both of them along with Team 10. And whether it's at the beginning or when they're about to make the finishing blow, Boruto travels to them using the flying Raijin tag he should have secretly put onto Sarada to look after her, or just use her as an easy way to get in and out of Konoha. I mean, if you pay close attention, most of the time that Boruto arrives in Konoha is actually near Sarada. Besides the first time where I think he definitely used Kashin Koji's summoning toe to assist him. So either way you look at it, I wholeheartedly believe we'll see Boruto defend Sarada against the Shinju in chapter 9. It'll also be cool to see Boruto keep his word to Sasuke that he'll look after his daughter, and that was the last thing Sasuke said to Boruto before he got absorbed by the Ten Tails. So when you think about it, it's kind of like a binding vow. You see, right before Code was about to attack Sarada, Boruto was right there to protect her. So I do think it'll be the same in this situation. One reason why I'm so excited for chapter 9 is because I know for a fact that Boruto and Sarada and whoever else battles is going to have to go all out. No holding back. Like I said earlier in the video, Boruto would most likely have to fight Jura alone because Sarada and Team 10 will be busy just trying to keep Hidari at bay. But this opportunity would of course grant Boruto the chance to fight Jura without any major interruption like last time. But obviously, for him to fight Jura, I think he'll have no choice but to activate his karma in this fight, just like Kawaki. But, I mean, you can see for him, it didn't quite go well. But yeah, we know Boruto is stronger than Kawaki right now, so of course Boruto's Karma V1 would give Jura much more of a challenge in comparison to Kawaki. Boruto finally using his Karma, something we have been waiting for him to use since the beginning of Tubular Vortex. It's so highly anticipated that we made theory videos explaining why he might be reluctant to use it. But if it's just the case that he's really haven't had an opportunity to use it yet, then I think this is the fight we 100% see him use it. And to see how cracked Boruto is already, him getting amped by the Karma, I personally think he'll be able to pressure Jura just enough to make him go all out as well. Or even worse, summon the rest of the Shinju to assist him, or bust out some crazy technique we have yet to see. But on the other side, we have Sarada and her MS, something that's been probably just as hyped up and anticipated as Boruto's Karma post time skip. I mean, I'm 100% certain if Sarada doesn't rely on her MS abilities to assist her in this battle, then she probably just loses, her along with Team 10. When I said everyone can't hold back anything in this battle, I mean just that. It's really a good time to show either Boruto's Karma or Sarada's MS. If not both, then we definitely see one of them in this fight. Someone who's definitely a dark horse in this fight, I think will be Himawari. Okay, just hear me out for a second. From what we just learned about her having BIJUU chakra, there can possibly be a way for her to help in this fight as well. While I don't think she has the fighting capabilities to go head to head with any of the Shinju yet, I wouldn't count out the possibility of her awakening some sort of innate ability or power that she's been hiding to play a supporting role just like Team 10. But I won't really dive too deep into that because the likelihood of that happening, I just don't think is very big as of now. While I do think Himawari has some really high potential, I think it's a little bit too early for that to be on display, and against such formidable opponents. So her time will definitely come, just at a different time and different situation. Before I end the video off, I can't just not discuss the possibility of Daemon joining in the fight, because that is a very popular topic right now in the community. And even though I don't think he'll just take initiative and join in the fight himself, I think he'll definitely join if EIDA decides to get involved. Because she knows firsthand how dangerous the Shinju are and how much of a threat they are to not only Konoha, but her as well. Of course she knows they are in Konoha because of her conversation with Shikamaru towards the end of chapter 8. and she knows exactly where they are because of not only the sensory unit's intel, but her Sharingan, of course. So let's just say she would want to help Sarada and Sumire because, you know, they are like the only people she can call a friend in Konoha, and I don't think she would want them to be unalived. So to help them, she would of course tell Mitsuki that Sarada is in trouble, and then her alongside Daemon and Mitsuki would hurry to her side. And in this situation, you add a fighter like Mitsuki, who I don't think really changes the tide of the battle, and you add Daemon, who can be a major influence in driving them away. But I don't think he'll be nearly as effective with Sarada and Mitsuki than he would be with Boruto. Let me tell you right now, Daemon alongside Boruto and Team 10, that actually moves me, I'm not gonna lie. And when it comes down to it, and we roll the dice, I think that might be enough for Jura and Hidari to back off a little bit for now. Either way, this situation offers a great opportunity for us as readers to see just how overpowered the Shinju actually are, and finally see Daemon fight at either full strength, or at least see him try harder than he ever did. It also gives us an opportunity to see some other hidden abilities that haven't been debuted yet in TBV VORTEX. So if I was you, I'd set your alarm clock to chapter 9's release. Or if you want to read it with me live, then make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications because I will be going live once the spoilers drop, so we can all react to the fight together. But without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video. And let me know what you guys think about a potential Boruto and Sarada matchup against the Shinju in the comment section. And until my next video, I'm out. Peace.